Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about carpal tunnel syndrome and how you can manage it naturally. My name is Stephanie Newton. I have a wellness consultation practice that I practice from here in my home in Florida. I see clients from all around the world. I also make videos like this one to talk about how you can heal various conditions naturally, or at least manage them. And today we're going to talk about carpal tunnel syndrome. So carpal tunnel syndrome is brought on by using the computer too much or keeping your wrists in the wrong position when you're using the computer, which most of us are using the computer a lot. It can also be used from other various repetitive activities, even lifting small children. Some new moms will find, like the way they're lifting them out of the crib and their wrist is bending backwards or whatever. Certain things can bring this on. I'll tell you what brought it on for me, and I don't have my phone here. I wanted to show you, but if any of you have a pop socket on the back of your phone, that's the little thing that you pull out so that you can put your fingers there to hold your phone better. It's called a pop socket. I have one of those, and ever since I put that on my phone, and since I normally hold my phone with my left hand so I can do things with my right, hold a cup of tea or whatever, the way I'm holding my phone with that pop socket has caused what seems to be carpal tunnel syndrome. It's a pain that goes down here. Sometimes it'll extend to my hand, but it's often just right through here. So what I do to manage it naturally are the things that I'm going to talk to you about right now. So the first big thing for me is having a wrist brace. I got this off of Amazon. I'll give you guys a link. The brand, I guess, is Futuro. Okay, I'm going to show you how it goes on. So I put my thumb through the hole on the end and I wrap it around my wrist area, and I can put it in any tension that I want. So if I'm about to do a yoga class or something, I will put it much tighter because this carpal tunnel has caused some muscle weakness, probably because I'm not using it as much. I'm not quite sure where the muscle weakness is coming from. And also because I haven't been doing yoga lately, so getting into my poses, I'm noticing less strength. So I would make it tight for yoga, but I wouldn't want to make it tight for just using my computer. I maybe want to put it on medium tightness. And then for going to sleep, and I don't wear this all the time, by the way, I'll get to that. When I'm going to sleep, if I want to wear it while I'm sleeping, I'll put it on nice and gently so that, I know for sure that no circulation is going to get cut off. The main reason I would want to wear it to sleep is just to keep my wrist in a neutral position so I don't bend it in a weird way, put it behind my head or whatever, sleep on it. I don't do anything weird with it for a period of time while I'm sleeping. It's best to keep the wrist in a neutral position when you are experiencing the carpal tunnel symptoms. So again, I don't use this all the time because I don't always have this pain. This is something that comes and goes. I probably only have to use this a few days per month. And not even all day. I'll use it as I'm doing the computer. I'll use it while I'm using my phone, which I have to switch to the other hand often. I still use that pop socket. I should probably take it off, but I switch to the other hand often to not use this hand when I'm using my phone, and I'll drink my tea with this hand or whatever. So I only use it when I'm feeling the pain and I feel like my wrist needs a little rest and it needs to remain in a neutral position. So there are other types of wrist braces. Some of them have a hard plastic shell here that will keep it really straight, right? I got this one because I like to use it in yoga, and I need the flexibility to do the positions. So, and also just, doing dishes and things like that around the house, I like the flexibility of it. But if you wanted to have a more, especially if you type a lot, you may want to get the one that keeps your hand in a much more neutral position than this one, because this one does allow some flexibility. And it also helps improve strength. It feels like I feel stronger, like I'm able to do more with this wrist brace on. So another thing that I do is I use a homeopathic product. This is from a company in Germany called Traumeel. And this has homeopathic remedies in it that are meant for these types of aches and pains. You can use them around your body for different aches and pains, joint pains, lower back pain, etc. And what I find, and this can be used so many different ways, just depending on what the situation is, how severe it is. What I find is on a day that I feel like, oh, my wrist is bothering me today, I'll put it on. So I'll put like a layer on this side, a layer all up and down this side, because the pain kind of radiates down here. And I'll do that maybe 2 or 3 times that day. Every few hours I'll apply it and I'll put my wrist brace on. So these are the 2 things that I use, and they really help me. I don't have to do a lot of these other things. Just these 2 products. And again, this you can get on Amazon. I don't think you can get it in drugstores because it's a product from Germany. I just don't think well, definitely not drugstores, but I don't think you can even get it in Whole Foods or anything like that. But this has a lot of great reviews. If you were to look on Amazon, it's amazing stuff. I've also used it for like neck pain because I do have a neck injury, and for the most part the pain is managed, but every once in a while I'll get, if I turn my head a certain way, I don't know, something can flare it, and then I'll use that and it really helps me a lot. So the third thing that you can do is chiropractic, physical therapy, or myofascial release. So I'm not going to do a video, I'm not going to go into detail what myofascial release is, but basically they do a certain type of massage, and I do it a little bit on my own, but a chiropractor or a massage therapist would do this. Not all chiropractors do it, and not all massage therapists do it, so you'd have to ask if they do myofascial release. And you kind of like, you're trying to get in between the muscles into the fascia, and you're trying to release it. So, you could look up on YouTube how to do it. Maybe there's some tutorials. I just do it based on what I've seen my practitioners do, and it's very, very helpful. So that is another thing that you can do that is natural. You can also, the 4th tip I have is rest. So you do need to rest it. Now the brace will help you rest it. So even if you don't have time to completely not use your hand, which is 99% of us, 99% of the time, use this, or use the harder one that keeps your hand in a real neutral position. And try to use your right hand. Try not to use this hand too much. Give it rest. You may be able to take a few hours. Maybe you'll have a day where you can just lay around a lot. Rest it. Make sure it's in a neutral position. Whenever you're resting, I would say use this, okay? Sleeping is a good rest period. That's a good, 6 to 8 hours. Keep it in a neutral position. You could even get the one that has the hard plastic for sleeping to really make sure that it's in a neutral position and it's really getting rest. So rest is huge. Another tip I have is the computer pad for a neutral wrist position. Now, a lot of our computers are different than they were years ago. Most of us have laptops, but if you are someone who still has a separate keyboard, you want to get a pad. I don't have one because I don't need one because of my laptop, but you want to get like a pad that you rest your wrists on to keep them elevated so that you're not, typing like this. So that can really help. Number 6 is essential oils. So you can use essential oils such as wintergreen, peppermint, frankincense, helichrysum, and cypress. Now what I do, and I don't even need to do this, as I said, most of what I do is just this plus rest. There have been times I've gotten myofascial release, but I don't really even need that anymore. But something you can do is these essential oils. Now I used doterra just because I have a friend and my mom, is this gonna focus? Okay, well anyway, that says Deep Blue. I use doterra brand, and Deep Blue is a combo remedy that has several of those in it. I think it has wintergreen and peppermint in it. I'm not sure if it has frankincense, but this is formulated to use on various parts of your body that are sore or strained or whatever. So just know that you can do that, and that is doterra brand. And then the last thing, if you have a pretty advanced case, and this is healthy for you anyway, is to start an anti-inflammatory diet and maybe some anti-inflammatory supplements. So there's paleo is an anti-inflammatory diet. A lot of diets, anytime you're moving from the standard American diet to some sort of a healthy regimen, you're gonna be reducing inflammation. And supplements such as bromelain, turmeric, boswellia, ginger, or fish oil, those things are very anti-inflammatory. And those can help because there is going to be a level of inflammation around here because the tissues are aggravated, and it's very important to reduce inflammation for a more advanced case. I tend to eat anti-inflammatory anyway, and I take a lot of supplements and homeopathic remedies, so I think for the most part I don't have a lot of inflammation in my body, and maybe that's why my case is not all that advanced, and I can just manage it with, you know, a few times per month this and a few times per month this. So hopefully those things have helped you guys. Again, I practice homeopathy from here in my home. Well, I call it a wellness consultant practice, but I do use mostly homeopathic remedies. If you want any more information about that, you can click my website below. Don't forget to like. If you liked this video, if you got anything from it, give me a like and subscribe if you're interested in hearing more about different types of holistic practices that I can help you with for any kind of chronic ailment. All right, bye-bye.